Hello team, thanks for joining me. What do we have here? Well, guess. Spyderco Tropen. Wow. Like, I mean that wow, guys. Every time that I hold this knife and I deploy it, I just say wow. It is so pretty. It comes out so quickly. It's so nicely polished. It has such a long blade. This is 4 inches on the dot. Let's compare it right now to some other blades to get a size reference. That's a Spyderco Native Chief, just over 4 inches. It is a little bit longer by hair. The handle is a lot more utilitarian. You don't get that beautiful polish that you get on the Tropen. Okay, so let's set some blades close to it. Here's the elegant, gentleman carry Ikuchi. Here's one from Unexpected Territories. My beloved Knives of Alaska, I believe Scout model, 3.6 inch blade, large, thick G10 only handle. Actually, it does have nested, but there you have a size reference with the Tropen. Okay, dedicated outdoor knife. You don't see these too much anymore. Here's a much more popular knife, my dirty cold steel Voyager in Austin 8. Here's a size reference for you. Okay, very popular. Costs a fourth of what this costs. Probably stronger. Obviously not as refined. Okay, the action is good, but it's not as refined. You don't get the polished G10. They're a lot more utilitarian. Do you want me to continue? Maybe. Since you're here, you like knives, so let me show you a couple more. This is the Trekker in Army Green. Gives you a size reference right there. Okay, and finally the Valaton Sub-Hilt, another Spyderco design or produced design by Butch Valaton. All right, let's get down to the Tropen real quick. Let me get all of the blades out of the way. Okay, and I just have a handful of comments, right? So flipping action, very easy, very fast, comfortable and enjoyable. The flipper tab has a tendency of poking you a little bit. It's kind of long, but it works well in its intended purpose, which is deployment. It works well. You can tell, however, that there's a lot of mass, considering the size of the blade and weight, overall weight. There's a lot of mass to move, so while it is fast, there is a long arm of blade that needs to come out. So it's not as quick as an Ikuchi, for instance. You know, look at this. It's just a lot faster due to the size. Okay, however, once you land here, like from here down, guys, this is extremely comfortable. That finger choil, the sloping handle, the arc at the back here, these soft lines over here are so comfortable. I mean, the scales are not flat. They do have some movement, some radiusing. So that's all perfect, until you land on the thumb. The thumb is it's one of the weak aspects of the design. I mean, I can grasp it really hard, but I cannot push that hard. Number one, the compression lock seems thinner than a lot of the Spydercos. Okay. I don't know if it's thinner than on the Ikuchi, but it's thinner than on the PM2. I'm sure about that. It's sharper as well, and I don't know, the holes and the interfaces don't work well for your thumb. Okay, this ends too quickly, and by the way, that wave opening mechanism is the only ugly one of the ugly design elements. I wish that wasn't there. I wish the design came all the way and made it to the scale in a more flowy fashion. That just looks ugly on such a beautiful design. It does work though. I've seen reviews where people complain about the functionality on regular shorts and jeans. That works well for me. I don't know the way you're deploying, but at least for me it does. Maybe I have some experience with Emerson's, but all right. So I talked about this issue here. The blade is just pure performance. 3.5 millimeters, and it's got a decently thick tip. It comes down to a thick tip. However, there's so much length of blade here that it's relatively thin behind the edge, not very thin, not PM2 thin. There's some thickness though. Cutting down things in the kitchen due to the blade design, it is so easy, so nice. I mean, you have these what appears to be almost flat area, which is not. There's a bit of a curve. So doing this motion indication is very natural compared to other blades. It's like a giant belly, so to speak. And then for peeling the potatoes off or doing other cutting, is really, you get a lot of blade to work with. Okay, so the blade is probably the main attribute of the design. It's really well made, really well made. The Argentinian knife designer did a great job here. It's just a little bit busy in this area. The spider hole works for deployments. It does. I don't know if I can flick it with it. I guess I can, but it's not my desired choice. The flipper is there for that, and also the spider hole allows you to smooth, elegant deployment. The compression works well. If free drops, there is no movement up, down, or side to side. The construction is your typical Taichung, guys. I mean, skeletonized liners. I'm sure things are polished in there, just like the G10 scales are. Look at that. I mean, yes, if I had not talked about it, I put on a deep carry clip. I just think that it adds some personality, right? It'll carry deeply, deep in your pocket, and it shows some color, some style. I don't carry this outside the house, but you know, I just love the way it looks. What else? Finally landed on the main complaint on the design, that exposed edge right there. Yes, that will cut you. Yes, it did cut me on the finger, and it gave me a bad cut that surprised the heck out of me. It actually scared me because I wasn't hoping on getting caught. When a knife is in your pocket like this, all your knives sit in your pocket like this, you reach down to grab it and pull down, and you get caught by doing that. Wow, I couldn't believe the sensation and the way that it just scared me for like a split second. I couldn't believe what was happening, and I was bleeding. I said, look, you know, Sal, I know you talked to your son about this. You both agreed that it wouldn't be a problem. For months, I thought that it wouldn't be a problem, but then I cut myself, so that just proves that it could potentially be a problem. I'm not going to forgive the design. It is a problem, actually. I just cut myself. You're not supposed to on a closed knife, right? I mean, end of story, my opinion. However, do I forgive the design for that defect? I do. Once it begins to deploy, the edge runs away from you, so it's not like it's going to slide you down on movement. It's only when it's closed and you're playing around and not remembering that you're carrying the Tropen that day. So just be mindful. You know, it's like having a limp. It's like your wife having a limp, right? Do you accept it or not? I accept it because this is just a Tropen, and it's beautiful, and it's so comfortable in hand, and it has 4 inches of S30V slicing machine. Thank you, guys.